You said Saturday night that Ben's the best coach in the world.
Yep.
In what ways have you kind of really felt his impact from when you got here through your development?
Yeah. First, him as a leader, and that starts with himself and how he holds himself, and you can see that, you can feel that, in the building, throughout the weeks, throughout the months, and things like that. You get, he upholds himself to a standard, and then from there he preaches. What he preaches is what is how he goes about his day, how he goes about his business, and then what he's told us and how he's going to be. He's been just that. So he's been really consistent. And then from there, you get out into the football field, and all these details and all these alignments, or all these formations and motions, and my reads and adjustments and checks and all these different things that he tells me or tells us. We go out there, and it works, and then you start building that trust, that bond, and you start believing and really believing in what he's saying and what he's teaching us. And you go out there, you do your job, you do your part, you do your 1/11th, and we're rolling. That's mainly speaking for offense, but defense, that attitude, that mindset that he carries, that's the attitude of the team.
How have you seen him handle adversity, particularly after the first two games that were losses?
Yep.
And just he's a first-time coach. What did you see in him at that time?
He was the same exact guy, and it was funny enough. It's like the clip of I can't remember his name now, but the dude that when you go through adversity, good. When when you're going through bad, good. That kind of attitude, that kind of mindset, and he stood strong, stood on all 10 toes, and remained the same guy.
You had a couple offensive linemen get Pro Bowl nods today.
As it should.
Probably an argument for a couple more too. Just
Absolutely.
What was your emotion seeing that?
Yeah, it's awesome. I don't remember how many we had last year, if any, maybe one last year, if any. Jalen, yes. And being able to have more and have more next up guys is great for us as an organization, as a team, because that's kudos to coach, and what he's been working on with us, because obviously we have such talented players and people that care here. The work has been put in, and those guys, happy for those guys. And yeah, like you said, I think there's more guys that are should be in that position, but to the guys that are, we're excited for them and excited for that opportunity.
When you're dreaming of playing in the NFL and that fun experience, do you feel like you're finally having that level of fun now?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I've been having fun even through the tough times. It was fun to be able to be in the position that I'm in. Very grateful for the position, but being able to win games this year and win games the way we have, and win some big games, primetime games and things like that. I think it's been really enjoyable, and the most joy comes from honestly coming into that locker room and seeing everybody smile. That's always the joy of it is that moment when you walk into the locker room, everybody's happy, everybody's cheering, everybody's dancing, and for all the hard work that we put in, that I put in, that we all put in personally, and sacrifice that we make to be able to have those moments. Yeah, that's joy.
Where do you see yourself having more fun in the day-to-day? And I know the easy answer is that winning is fun, but beyond that, in the day-to-day work, where do you see yourself just enjoying it so much more and having such a
I like the process of just. I mean, even after we've lost, we obviously have 4 losses this year. So even after we lost, or when we went 0-2, it was like, yeah, we've lost, but the process is right, the mindset is right, and obviously have to adjust some things and figure out why we lost and whatever the case may be. But the process is right, and so stand true to the process, believing in the process and the coaches and us as players. That's where the joy has come from.
There's a stat that shows you guys your performance in the fourth quarter, fourth quarter and overtime. What are the factors that you guys are just able to turn it on in those moments?
I think it's really just us, realizing that it isn't necessarily the other team that's actually stopping us or anything like that. Yeah, like yes, teams are gonna make plays versus teams. They get paid, and there's good players in this league, and we've played versus some of the best players in this league, and so I think that's where it's come from. And then mindset just changes, a play happens, and a spark. The spark becomes a fire, and we're ignited at that point.
Caleb,
like
I want to ask you about another coach, JT.
Yep.
How's he been a resource for you? Especially, I don't know how well you knew what kind of player he was in college. I'm just curious what that dynamic's been like.
Yeah, he's been awesome. We early on, I mean, our relationship and bond has grown. We're laughing and joking all the time. We're similar, closer in age than obviously some of the other coaches, and so we connect on that level. And then us having maybe some bumps in the road where we got to sit down and have talks and communicate to each other has helped us get to this point where we're that's my guy, and he's been tremendously helpful to me, and we're gonna keep growing that.
How long did it take you to figure Ben out? For example, I heard DJ say, I think in the offseason, that he couldn't tell sometimes if Ben was happy or angry, just based on the tone.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
It took me a while. It took me throughout camp. At certain parts, felt like our relationship was pretty fragile. Fragile at certain points from my perspective. It was like geez, like this dude, doesn't seem like he likes me. He doesn't have to like me. That's what you kind of realize. But at that point also, and to that extent, you start figuring out that that's just him, and he cares so much about the sport. He cares so much about us. He cares so much about winning. He cares, like I said, he cares about us as players. That you start figuring out him, and you understand that when you're on that 53, the 53 by 120, it's that's his place, and so. Being able to go out there, do our job exactly how we should and exactly how he teaches it, and then when you get off the field, he's one of the guys. He's a player's coach. He laughs and jokes with us. He's bumping us around and things like that. And so it's fun. It's enjoyable when we're off the field. It's fun and enjoyable when we're on the field. But it did take a little bit.
The interesting thing about you saying you have the best coach in the world, because I think a lot of guys would probably say that, but you're saying that about a guy that has been coaching you very hard, has been all over you about everything.
Yep. Yeah, he's and that's what I've wanted. That's kind of how I've grown up, hard coaching, and I've played my best ball, with a coach like that, and so he's been just that. He's been consistent, like I said, and then when you get out there in the football field, he tends to call the right play at the right time.
Caleb, you've been under the spotlight your entire football life, and positive, negative, whatever it may be. Do you take any individual satisfaction of the fact that you're leading a team to the playoffs here, that you're proving something individually? I know it's a team sport, but you're the quarterback here. Do you take any individual joy out of that?
Yeah. I've been, I've said it in a couple of speeches that I've had before that, I wasn't the biggest, I wasn't the strongest, I wasn't the tallest, fastest, whatever the case may be. I get drafted here. Told that I'm not a special player. Told that I'm not, a good fit here. Told that coach and I won't work. I've told I can't win here. And so, I know that's going to keep going on. But I do take a little satisfaction and things like that, and being able to help this team, help this organization, be a part of it. To get to the playoffs, and my goal isn't to just get to the playoffs. My goal is to win, and win big. And so, I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep growing for the guys in this building, for the coaches and things like that, for this organization and for the city, to be able to be proud and happy, to be fans and supporters of Chicago Bears.
You've not only taken the team to the playoffs. Relationship with Ben. Declan has said before, you've heard some choice words through the headset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
To me or to
no, to him, like all the coaches.
Declan. Yeah.
Yeah, have you? Can you remember like the most colorful thing or interesting thing Ben has said to you?
No, because it's always in the moment, and there was a time though that I can't remember exactly if it was in a game or not, but we were something happened, and I end up I got pissed off too, and then I end up waving him off, and then he lit a fuse into the mic, and it was so long ago. I think it was during camp, and I can't remember exactly what he said, but he lit a fuse into the mic, and so that's who he is. And like I said, we know who he is. We know that he loves us as people, us as humans. He loves us as players. But he also loves to win. He likes things the way that he likes things, to be done, and we understand that, and everybody wants to go out there and win and play for him. And I think we've shown that so far.
You've not only taken the team to the playoffs this year, but again, for the second year in a row, you haven't missed a game. Last year, you got hit a lot and you didn't miss a game. How much pride do you take in that and your durability that you've shown?
Yeah, you can only grow so much from the sideline and things like that. So I take extreme pride. I've spoke about it before that, things that I do on the football field, has come from repetitions and hard work and things like that. But it also comes from me being able to, go out there and be 100% for the guys. And so, I like I said, I take great pride, and I also, just my mindset and how I go about it is I think, wherever I've been is like the team in my mind. We have the best shot with me at quarterback, and that's just how I go about my day, how I go about my business. And so me being able to be out there for the guys is important to me. Awesome. The Bears.